Hello there, Jeff here with the Bigshooterist channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a long winter, and as far as I'm concerned, spring is here. If spring's here, it's time to shoot. Today, we're going to discuss the Patriot Ordnance Factory P416 rifle. Now, you've seen it an awful lot on the channel in the past, but we've never discussed exactly why I'm so impressed with this gun and why it's my go-to rifle. After this video, there'll be no questions unanswered. And if there are, hit me up in the comments. Stick around. Now, I've been using the P416 since before there was a P416. As a matter of fact, the first one I received said P415, and it was a semi-auto. It took about 5 minutes before I contacted Frank DeSoma, the owner, asked him how attached to it he was, and explained that I needed to do a little bit more milling and a little bit more drilling to really be able to test this thing out. Now, this is the same lower receiver. It's an early Gen 1 gun, and it was before there even were any generations. It was the first one. It was before they even shipped. And after 70,000 plus rounds, Frank saw the upper receiver that was on it, asked me if he could look at it, and I made the mistake of handing it to him because he never handed it back. Frank told me that there wasn't any problem with it, and he was happy that I enjoyed abusing it and testing it as much as I did, but he wanted it to go in the museum after all of the abuse that's been documented on it, and sent a brand new E-Square Gen 4 upper receiver, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So after all the pallets of ammo that I've shot and the hundreds of AR type guns that I've fired, why is the 416 my go-to gun? When I say go-to, I'm serious. If the balloon went up and I had to grab a gun because my life depended on it, or the life of somebody I love, it would be this gun that I would take. Why is that? Numerous reasons. First, the internal coatings in this gun. Cleaning and maintenance optional. And he means that. It's not a catchphrase, it's not a slogan. He means it. Cleaning and maintenance optional. When I tell you I fired over 70,000 rounds through the first gun, the test gun, those weren't easy rounds. That was putting beta mag after beta mag after beta mag in, and allowing other people to just do full auto dumps, full 100-round dumps, a whole mixture of ammo, drums that people would bring me and magazines people would bring me and they'd want to shoot it at the range. It got abused, and it was only taken apart and cleaned up a few different times, and that was just to take measurements, and it kept on running. Now, Frank hit the piston systems he hit the nail on the head before they were the cool thing to have. He started dealing with piston systems going way back to the beginning of the rifle, like they were intended originally, and he really got it right. His piston system is so simple. It consists of a gas plug, a piston, and an op rod, and that's it. You have a special adapter where the gas key would go on top of the bolt carrier, and you're in operation. It's adjustable, so you can run it unsuppressed, like I'm doing right now, or suppressed, turn the gas down a little bit, and it doesn't over-gas and overcharge the hell out of the system. It just keeps on going. That original test gun I took to another manufacturer's Black Rifle Armorer's course, and when it came time to do some chamber gauging, I asked if I could bring that upper receiver in with me. I expected the chamber gauge to drop about halfway down to the gas port, and I was amazed when it spec'd out good enough to be a brand new rifle shippable from this other major manufacturer, and that was after 50,000 rounds. So Frank's done his homework on this, and he's done it right, and he's improved upon it. The E-Square chamber that's in these Gen 4 guns is amazing. It's a little bit hard to explain if you're not familiar with chamber fluting, and it's not really a fluting in its original capacity anyway, but picture 4 lines that are cut into the chamber. Those allow gas to come back and help the extraction of the round. It cuts back on the obtrusion, and it cuts back on the adhesion that's caused when all of that extra gas comes back into that cartridge before it's ejected, when it's expanded to its fullest capacity and it's just driving into that chamber, all of that extra gas can cause a casing to stick in the chamber if it starts to eject prematurely before the pressure lets down. Well, with the E-square chamber, Frank has addressed that by using that gas to assist in the extraction. Now, POF USA has been on the cutting edge of this stuff for a long, long time. I remember looking at their items when they first introduced this line of rifle, and it was before anybody else was. There were no other 416s or anything else like that out there. There was the Patriot Ordnance Factory 415, and shortly after the 416. And he's kept good to his word. He's wanted to bring the best of the aerospace industry into the firearms industry, and he's done a pretty damn good job of it. Let's spend a little bit of time on the trigger on this. You can hear that steel from the shootsteel.com targets resonating really well, even though the muzzle noise is really, really loud on this. Awesome stuff. As you can tell, the cyclic rate is just slow enough on this thing so you've got absolute muzzle control, but fast enough to do what you want it to do as a machine gun. Fantastic, fantastic package. I just can't say enough good about it because I've spent so much time on so many other platforms that didn't live up to the abilities of this platform. There's some other really nice ones out there, but this one is right at the top of the pile when it comes to piston-driven M16s, for sure. Patriot Ordnance Factory. Now, Frank and the guys at Patriot Ordnance Factory are pretty innovative. There's a lot of new stuff coming out all the time. I'm sure that many of you saw the little teaser that they published on the 308 version of this rifle in full auto. It got my attention right away, and yes, there's one coming my way. If you want some more information on the P416, my newest book, The Evolution of the Black Rifle, available on Amazon, I'll have a link in the description below the video, has, I think, 3 chapters just on this weapon system. And it takes you through some of the heavy fire endurance testing that we did, and it shows the abuse that these things will really take. We're also getting ready to launch a fundraiser to raise some money for the Maine Infantry Foundation to help the Williams Machine Gun Range with their combat wounded veterans shoot. It's a non-profit, and they need some help, and it's a wonderful program to help combat wounded veterans get back on the trigger again and assist with their therapy, as well as just a nice way to say thank you and show them a good time. The link to that will be in the description down below as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and that little tour through the P416, so we're finally on the same page on what it is that I find so exciting about this gun. If you did like the video, please click like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's great to be on board with my new Full30.com family, by the way. Nice to meet an awful lot of you over here that I haven't met on YouTube. And share the video in your vast social media network. Until next time, have fun and be safe.